Hi, Ryan Sweeney here to talk about being analytical when it comes to using data analysis to determine a situation. And see, when I was in the military, specifically flying helicopters in Afghanistan, we were often landing at the landing zones that were 14,000 feet or so above sea level, and operating at very limited capabilities to our aircraft. So we had to be really accurate when it came to analyzing data. In this one particular scenario, as I landed at an LZ, I made sure I landed in with a headwind. So that allowed us to basically go through what we call transverse flow effect and allow us to get into flight that was above the ground or at a ground level, into forward flight, if you will, for the lack of a better term. And I had to take on full passengers. There's, as usual, a larger than manifest. So I took my passengers, estimated their weight, ran my numbers on my checklist, picked up the aircraft, did a hover, what we call the hover power check, to confirm my numbers. I was right on my numbers. I had a couple percentage points to play with, and I was a brand new pilot in command, so I had somebody, it was one of the first times I had somebody that was had less hours than me that I was flying with. And we began to nose the aircraft forward, and as we nosed the aircraft forward, I expected to get into what I called that transverse flow effect, or effective translational lift, and begin to depart. However, we continued to basically fly about 20 feet off the ground, and we maintained 20 feet off the ground, 20 feet off the ground. And what I believe happened is, in the larger bowl that we were in, that headwind when I landed had spun around and turned into a tailwind. So I had no more power. I could not pull anything more. I would have over-torqued the aircraft, and the engines would have went past operating level, and I would have went into the ground. So I managed to stay at 20 feet, just above the ground, flying above the ground, flying above the ground. And I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in a little bit more power. I'm going to come on the controls with you. And as I came on the controls with him, and I pulled up about 1% more. And before those rotors started to droop and the aircraft would have settled into the ground, they spike up just a little bit. And I spiked up at over 103% RPM, was that accurate, able to hold the aircraft in control. And that gave us just enough of the power we needed to fly out of effective translational lift and off the ground, and then fly away. And after that point, the power reduced. So, but the fact of the matter is I analyzed the numbers in the data that was required, but the situation also had changed, and then I had to reanalyze the numbers while in a tight situation to make sure that I could still get out of it, and was able to do so.